Hello and welcome to the 7th episode of Travel Thursday Crosscheck podcast. So today I will talk about what will happen recently to one of the Air Canada regional aircraft. As we know, due to pandemic and it looks like E175 is already affected right now. So it looks like Sky Regional is pretty much done with Air Canada right now. But I will talk more about that before I start. Remember, don't forget to subscribe it. If you haven't subscribed it, please make sure you to subscribe it. I really appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channels. And don't forget, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagrams. Alright, let's start. According to the source, Sky Regional to shut down at the end of March after losing contract with Air Canada. Sky Regional is already done with Air Canada. It will be finished by end of this month, March, but which is happening by end of this month. As according to the source, they say it was ending its contract with the company. This is the first domestic scheduled airline to permanently shut down since the start of the pandemic. So Sky Regional had already partnered with Air Canada to operate flights in the regional routes around in Canada and the USA, like flying to Dallas, Fort Worth, like flying to GCA under the Air Canada Express brand. As according to the chairman and chief executive, Pearson, he said, sadly, as a result, we will be forced to shut down our operations despite our many adjustments in the face of the various travel restrictions imposed by governments, thus far without any sector-specific support. Well, what will happen to E175 when the Sky Regional already shut down? Well, Sky Regional operates 25 Embraer aircraft E175. That most of the E175 for Sky Regional already transferred from Air Canada mainland, and some of them they transfer from different airlines. But however, when the Sky Regionals finish with Air Canada by end of this March, all 25 Embraer E175 will be transferred to Jazz Aviations. But what will happen to the planet? Well, according to the Pearson, the company's 25 Embraer aircraft will be transferred to Air Canada, and that is planet, including those on layoff, will be transferred to Jazz. The planet will be governed by the term of Jazz collective agreement, as according to the Pearson. So pilot who flew regional airlines or who have worked with regional as a crew or pilot flight attendant, they will be transferred to Jazz. Even though if pilot or flight attendants who are currently in layoff, like temporary layoff from regional, will also be transferred to Jazz Airlines. What will happen before the pandemic? According to the Pearson, there were 800 people working with Sky Regionals, which happens before the pandemic. Sky Regional begins the flight in 2011 as the first flight which offered domestic flight in Canada with an additional flight to US destinations such like Boston, New York City, Newark, Philadelphia, Washington, Dallas, and Chicago, as according to the website from the company's website. According to Pearson, over the past decade, we have operated with outstanding service with an impeccable safety record and excellent cost management, which benefit not only our client but Canadian travelers. So that's according to Pearson. But however, other than Sky Regionals and Air Canada, other airlines, they are really struggling and they're having a difficult times during the pandemic because of lack of travels, which can take a heavy toll, and they lost some of their money, and due to lower demand of passengers, like not many passengers fly the plane because of the country's government travel restriction bans still ongoing. Thousands of aviation workers have been laid off this year alone as the industry's call for a bailout from the federal government. As we know, regional routes, where Sky Regionals fly to, already seen widespread cuts during the pandemic, which including airlines who are looking forward to cuts. So that's pretty much bad news for them. According to Robert Kokinis, the president of Toronto-based consulting firm AirTribe Inc., he said that Air Canada's decision to end the agreement with Sky Regional likely came as a result of uncertainty around demand for regional aviation after the pandemic. Well, technically, according to this quote, is Air Canada, this is not an easy decision. This is a very hard decision, but the decision is they have to end the agreement with Sky Regional because of the COVID-19 pandemic still ongoing and travel restriction in Canada is still ongoing. And if Sky Regional and Air Canada all starting losing the money, there could be a lot of problems. And we still see more airlines starting to lose the money and more airlines are going away because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I find this could be really, really difficult, and we know pandemic sucks. So yeah, and we don't know when it will survive. So I know that's crazy stuff going on. According to Kokinis, they added the consolidation of Air Canada's regional flight week under the Jazz. That can create an opportunity for smaller carriers to enter new markets where flights have been cut during the pandemic. Once demand for travel recovers, so if the demand travel recovers, then most likely when the travel restriction lift, when the travel ban restriction lift, we could see more travelers once the travel restriction lift, for sure. However, this could open the door for smaller airlines to start to serve some of those underserved regional routes, according to Kokinis. So it looks like Sky Regional is pretty much done with Air Canada by end of this March. After the Sky Regional left, the only regional airline for Air Canada Express brand, that would be Jazz Aviation. All 25 Embraer E175 will be transferred to Jazz Aviation, including pilots, the crew, the flight attendants, all will be transferred to Jazz, including the people who lay off from Sky Regional also will be transferred to Jazz Aviation. And they will, when they come back to work, they will work with Jazz, for sure. And if you are working with Sky Regionals, I hope you had a great time working with Sky Regionals in the past few years ago, before the pandemic. You did a really good job. You really do well. And I felt bad that you missed working with Sky Regionals. I feel bad for them because I'm going to miss Sky Regionals for sure. But I wish you had a great time and hope you had a good time working with Jazz, your new regional airlines. For next time when you come back to work as a flight attendant and pilot. Hope you stay safe and stay well, stay active. And hopefully we can recover and we can travel soon when the travel restrictions end. And everyone, just a reminder, this is not the time to travel. Not essential, because we have a travel restriction in Canada right now. So, as we know, spring break is coming, and pandemic's not over yet. But the good news, we are in the light of the end of the tunnels. But this is not the time to travel. Not essential this time, including spring break. So, please don't book. Please don't plan for the next several months until when it's safe to do so. And if you have your vacation, please cancel your vacation. I know you want to go on the vacation, but this is not the time. So we gotta wait for several months until when it's safe to do so. So please cancel or postpone your vacation trips. And hope you stay safe, and remember to subscribe it to my YouTube channel and make sure you follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe it. And see ya.